coming in hot, Chichi. What's going on, man? Big Monday.
Big Monday. What was that commercial with the hump day?
Hump
That was
day.
Yeah. Nice, dude. Dude, we have so much going on. A lot of stuff happened in the big leagues, but I do know this
How was your weekend, though, first off?
My weekend was good, dude. Macy's all healed up now.
Oh, good, dude. She's out running?
Yeah. Pool being open next Monday, so I cleaned out the
Are you
yard.
serious, dude? You're opening the pool next Monday?
Yeah, why not, dude?
Dude, the weather's turning.
Let's go. Let's try. Hopefully it stays that way. You had a good weekend, dude. There were a lot of home runs hit, and I'm not just talking about the New York Yankees, which we'll get to.
I had an incredible weekend, man. We went up, took my dad up again. It was his third game there. So when Jim Casey shows up, Jake, his grandson, 6 for 12, 3 bombs, 2 doubles, like 9 ribbies.
That's so cool.
It's incredible. So I brought him up Friday, and he got another one. It was great. Saturday. I brought him up Saturday. Saturday, that was great. And then I went up there yesterday, dude. It was I sent it to you, but I don't post on Instagram a lot. But I just put it up there because it was just such a cool moment. I wanted to share it with with people out there. But the guy that does the play-by-play for Kent State, great guy. And he was like, hey, when I first got to the game, he's like, are you Sean Casey? I'm like, yeah. He's like, any chance you can come up and join us in the booth? I'm like, yeah, sure, I'd love to. He's like,
wait, hold on. Pause right there. Let's listen and watch this, and then we'll come out and react to it. Here we go.
Here is Jake Casey, man on 2 out. Casey swinging a high drive, right field, way out of here. How do you like that, Sean?
Let's go. Oh, my God, that's incredible. Wow.
With his father on the broadcast, Casey goes deep. A 2-run blast. Kent State leads 4-2.
What a treat, brother, to be up here seeing you call it. I told you, that's way more pop than I had. I don't think I hit a ball like that in college. I promise you that. So, oh, man, that was special. Dude, and there it is. So I end up going up there in like the 5th inning or something. It's a 2-2 game. Jake gets up there. And, dude, first pitch hits that. It was a missile change. It was like 423. They had it on. They had the analytics up in the booth. So the guy showed me. He's like, it was 423 with a 112 exit velo. I mean, it was like boom, boom, gone over the score. It was flying way over the scoreboard on a missile, dude. It was incredible. But, like, I didn't know what to say. I literally was kind of speechless. It happened so fast. It was first pitch. And on a side note, dude, first off, it was one of the coolest moments as a father in my life, dude. Literally, it was one of the coolest moments of my father. I know how my dad felt now. I say to my dad, well, Dad, it must have been so cool watching me play in the big leagues or at Richmond and hitting home runs in the World Series. And he's like, you don't know. You don't even understand, And I used to remember calling home, like, your father's a mess. He doesn't go to bed. And when we're on the West Coast, my dad, he said, every at-bat, my dad would pace, But I get it now. Yeah. I get it. Now that I'm a father, you're watching your son. You'd rather your son do so much better than you do. You know what I mean? And that as fathers, you feel that way. So it was really cool. But on a side note, after the game, big dude comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, are you Sean Casey?" I go, "Yeah." He goes, "Do you remember me? I'm Sean Bergman." Well, Sean Bergman was a pretty good pitcher in the big leagues, dude, with the Astros. I don't know if you remember back in like 2000s, 99, 2000. Bergman was in the rotation.
Nice.
And he goes, "Hey, man," he goes, now we have something, with something in common. He said, "You took me deep in the big leagues, and your son took my son deep today in college baseball." Yeah, how cool is that? Dude?
That's even kind of cool for them. I know it's like they're on the losing end of those two titles, but that is really crazy.
It was really cool. And
of all the kids, of all the schools, of all the games in the history of the world, that's pretty crazy odds that happened.
Dude, you're exactly right. I never thought of it that way, but yeah, it's incredible that I faced a guy in the big leagues, and then my son faced his son. You could when they're kids, you could be, oh yeah, what if they face off one day? They got to be in the same conference. They got to same year, all that stuff. He has to show up on that day.
How hard is it to hit a home run?
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to hit a home run. But what's cool was Bergman's kid punched out Jake on an 0-2 front door 2-seamer, his second at bat. Like I was like, that's a good pitch. Like you could tell Jake was like, oh man, it buckled me. He threw it right at him. Bam, ran it back on the inside corner. Well, that's good pitching. And then when Bergman was like, that was my son, I'm like, now I understand the 0-2 front door 2-seamer.
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. All right.
Yeah.
Great stuff. Great weekend for everybody. Hope everybody else had a great weekend. But we are getting to the story.
Yes.
In baseball. Now, there's so much to unpack here. Aaron Judge It's so funny, dude. We had a couple reactions last week when you said Aaron Judge is the best hitter in baseball, and a lot of Ohtani fans came out. And
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, dude. We had a couple little chimes on a little reactions, which we appreciate. Bring them. Bring
We
your
love it. We love it. We don't want everyone to agree with us.
Yeah, no. And hey, some people made some actually good points about why Ohtani might be better. Right
Yeah,
at this
he's
moment,
not, though. He's not.
I don't think there's a better hitter in
Sorry. I've seen it.
on this planet, or if we wind up going to Mars, I don't think there's a better hitter on Mars yet.
There's not one on Jupiter.
No. Okay. There you go.
Pluto.
Yeah. Keep Uranus to yourself, though. You don't know about that. Anyway, so here's the thing. Judge, everybody's seen the numbers. We know that. That's part one. He is not using part two of the big story, these torpedo bats that some guys are using. Jazz is using it. Goldschmidt's using it. Volpe's using it. Bellinger. Okay. Where do you want to start? Why don't we give Judge his props, and let's get Casey's take on a torpedo bat.
Judge is the best player in baseball. This is why spring training doesn't matter. Sorry. This guy's such a great spring. Judge hit 125, then comes out first 3 games, proves he's the greatest player in the universe, Milky Way, and the other ones that we haven't discovered yet. That's what he proved. He's just the best, and he's the best guy out there too. So bam, that's the Aaron Judge stuff. And don't forget, of all the home runs they hit this weekend, he hit 4 of them. Let's remember that. Okay. And this whole torpedo bat stuff. Now let me explain. There's so many things going on here. Okay. So the Yankees are one of the best teams in baseball. Like Booney has says, all these teams are saying now that the new word is margins. We got to win on the margins. We got to, how are we different than other teams? How are people still don't understand how the Rays are doing what they're doing. They haven't uncovered that yet. When you look at the Pirates and some other teams that are lower market teams, they haven't done what the Rays have done, right? So like the Rays have been winning on the margins for years and years. Like, man, how are they doing what they're doing? Well, the Yankees, dude, I've seen the machine. They have so many guys trying to figure out different things. So where can we win on the margins? And what they found was their analytics said that Volpe was hitting a lot more balls squared up, not on the barrel, but almost towards the label. So then they said, within the parameters of Major League Baseball, can we bring that barrel size down a little bit towards the label, because it will weight the bat differently, and that's where Volpe hits the balls most. So that makes total sense, staying in the guidelines of of Major League Baseball. Which, if you look at a barrel, let me show you.
I'd love to see this. This is great.
So you got, let me see here. This is the Albert Pujols M9 David Wright bat. Okay, so this is a David Wright Pro Rawlings.
Got it.
This right here, it has a decent barrel. See how it gradually, it's a thinner handle, goes into a gradual barrel. Okay, pretty basic.
Okay.
Albert Pujols swings an M356. Okay. He has a very skinny handle. So Albert must like a skinny handle because he'd like to throw his hands.
Okay.
His barrel so it's pretty skinny all the way up here. Now watch how thick that barrel gets. The barrel gets pretty thick. See how large that barrel is? Pretty large all the way down.
Can you put them on top of each other, like parallel?
Yeah. See how the Pujols one is definitely bigger than the right one.
Got it. Yep.
Not much, but you see how they're different, how they, So that's that. And then this is a good one, too. This is the bat. This is the bat I used in the World Series. It was a Pujols model, AP1. Okay. Old Hickory, great bat. Look at all the tar I had on the handle.
Nice.
But this bat, I really like this bat. It was a gradual barrel size. It kind of went medium-sized barrel. This is a T141. This is the bat I used when I first came up with Cleveland. See Cleveland?
Yeah.
First came up with Cleveland. I like the T141 too because it was a thinner handle and a little bit more of a bigger barrel. Now there's also a C243, huge barrel that Louisville makes too. That people go off that. So this isn't something new. This isn't something new. People are always trying to find, is it a thin handle to a bigger barrel? Oh wait. That means if I get jammed, that bat's going to blow into a million pieces because it's weightier at the end. Is it a C271 where it's gradually weighted all throughout? And, dude, listen, they should have been doing this for years. Marucci So this bat is a Victus bat owned by Marucci. Marucci and Victus are one. They're the same company. 7 years ago or 6 years ago, they hired a guy out there that was a golf pro that fitted clubs, and they started their own lab out there in Baton Rouge. So when you go back a couple years ago in 2022 when Goldschmidt won the MVP, do you remember what his bat looked like? He had a handle, and he had like a knob at the bottom here.
Right.
To distribute the weight. It was like, so what they figure out in that lab is in the lab what they figure out. Now I'm all over the place here. Now this isn't the Yankees. This is now Marucci. But I want to tell you where they're getting this knowledge is from this lab, right? So in that lab, they can see you swing, Chinch. So if you went and got fitted for golf clubs right now at Dick's Sporting Goods, you're going to line up there. Okay, Chinch, your center of balance is here where you're coming here. Man, that 4-irons, it's not heavy enough here, so we're going to fix that. We're going to change the grip. Okay, bam, that's for Rich Cinciamino, that's your 4-iron. Hey, let's go to the 6-iron. Let's go to your wedges, 7 or above. Let's go to your pitching wedge. What's the loft there? Your driver, man, you're leaned over too much. We're gonna bring you back a little bit. We're gonna put a little more weight here. The shaft's gonna be a little tighter. All that stuff, right? They do that in golf. And what they said was, why are we not doing that in baseball? All these years, 150 years, we have the C271, the C243, the T141, and guys are now making their own models too. But for years, they're all just here. This is what you swing. This is what you use. And then when Griffey came along, he's like, listen, I don't want these big bats anymore. Give me a 34-31, trying to, start whipping them. Everyone's like, oh, Griffey uses the 34-31. That's what I got to do. That's my generation. That's what I got to do.
Yeah.
So with the Torpedo Bat, think about the generation. So now they're looking and go, okay, now the analytics says, where are these guys over 162 hitting the ball the most? Well, looks like maybe Aaron Judge is on the barrel more. Anthony Volpe's down towards the label, whatever is going on with his swing and how guys are pitching them. So why don't we change the sweet spot from the end of the bat where the barrel is, the barrel's usually like right here is you're trying to hit the ball like right here, this like 6 inches probably. And so what they're doing is they're taking the weight from here and they're pushing it down here. That's all they're doing.
Right.
So the label's here and they're saying, man, Volpe's hitting more balls here. Okay, let's take the barrel instead of it being plump here. Let's take some of the weight out of there and move it down to here. And now the barrel is more like down here as opposed to, still being thick at the top where you're not hitting the ball because he doesn't hit the ball there.
Right.
So it makes total sense to do it. But the problem is, Chinch, when the Yankees do anything and they do it well, oh, here go the Yankees. It's the Yankees, you know what I mean? We can't play. Got these torpedo bats. No, dude, they have some analytics guys that actually took action on the data they got and went to Major League Baseball within the rules, and they made a different kind of bet, which they've been doing for years, but it just looks – they've never made it look like the way it looks, so it looks a little awkward. It's like, what's that? Looks like a torpedo. Well, yeah.
Dude, I love it. Thank you for doing that. By the way, Yankees aren't the only team. There are players. I believe Francisco Lindor, he's using that bat. This isn't like, oh, the Yankees did some secret little sauce.
Right.
And it's not done anywhere else in the league. Oh, I got a prop. You want to see my prop? This is fun.
Yeah, let me see it.
Here's a Pancho Gonzalez tennis racket.
Oh, dude, exactly.
Is this what tennis rackets look like now? Does Tiger Woods' driver look the same as, I don't know, Freddie Couples' first driver? I don't know why I thought.
Not even close. Yeah, Freddie Couples or Tiger Vance.
Anyway. Great explanation.
No, but it is true. Look at that racket, dude. That's what McEnroe used and Lendl used and Jimmy Connors used. They're not using that. That's not what Federer and Djokovic and all these dudes are using. They're using high state-of-the-art. Because why? Because technology's changed in 2020. I remember also, too, when I used to play, like, the Maple bats were coming out. And we were hitting rockets off them. They're like, the Maple bats? Dude, Maple's harder than, Birch. Or then they're bringing Birch bat out. And they're they have different kind of wood. So which wood's harder? It's a competitive advantage inside the rules. It's totally fine. Now, here's the other thing, Chinch, the thing that we need to remember and stop all the craziness. At the end of the day, if I gave Aaron Judge this Dave Parker autograph bat, this is like the crappiest wood you could ever use, Aaron Judge is going to hit one out of the ballpark. Because it's the Indian, not the arrow. We're going, these bats are what? No, dude, these are big league ball players. Jazz Chisholm hits the ball out of the ballpark. Anthony Volpe hits the ball out of the ballpark. Austin Wells. Cody Bellinger is MVP of the league. So is Paul Goldschmidt. These aren't just they're bats. These guys are the best players in the world. They are the best players in the world. So give them some props too with it. Just don't go into it's the torpedo bats. You know what? Stop that stuff. It's not the torpedo bats. I'm telling you right now.
Love it.
It's the Indian, not the arrow. These guys can flat out hit. They're some of the best players in the game. And that's what you saw. You know, it's not these bats. Stop with the bats. And that bothers me more than anything. You know how hard it is to hit baseball? It's so freaking hard. Right? And these guys are throwing some good. They got the mojo going right away off Nestor in that second game, and they just start banging. And hitting's contagious. You start seeing one guy bang, you want to bang too. You want to get on that hit parade. Nothing worse than when a game ends and the hit parade goes by. You go, I had no hits. We had 17 hits and 9 bombs. I got no hits. No, you want to get in on the hit parade. So it brings you up even more. So it's the Indian, not the arrow. It's not these bats. And at some point when the Yankees start struggling with the torpedo bats, they're going to be like, oh,
yeah,
the torpedo bats make you struggle now.
Dude, great analysis, man. Thank you for doing that, because hopefully you're clearing some stuff up for people. One quote. Here's Volpe's quote when he was asked about it. Quote, "It's probably just a placebo. A lot of it is looking up at your bat and you see how big the barrel is. But it's exciting. I think any 0.001% mentally that can give you confidence helps." So it's like, what kind of grip does a hockey player use on his stick? Like, oh, I like this grip better than that grip. I like, you see a lot of guys have the bats that some guys don't have knobs on the bottom of them. Remember a couple of years ago, they had that external knob that was kind of hooking around.
I'm saying that was, yeah. Dude, Craig Biggio had like a flared out knob.
Yeah.
Hang on. Oh, right here. Right here. Prince Fielder. Look at Prince Fielder's knob.
Yes.
See how this knob is, see how that's flared all the way out?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's different bats for everybody, you know what I mean? Dude, I got a great bat story, bro, that I don't know if I've ever told this story.
Okay.
So, talk about, okay, before I get to my bat story, I'm going to make one final point.
Got it.
The weight of bats is so important, dude. I didn't like having the barrel too heavy. I like having it distributed perfect. And on some days, my 32-ounce bat, I had some 31.5s made too, 31.5 ounces, because like, man, it feels heavy today. I'm going to 31.5s today. You know, just like, hey, I'm not swinging my driver. I'm going down to my fairway woods off the tee. I can't control the driver, so I'm changing. These guys are doing that. I knew 0.1% where this bat was off or on or whatever. So that the weight distribution of the bat matters for the player. That's the first thing. Okay, talk about weight distribution and everything. Talk about bats. So Marucci, I started swinging Marucci bats in 2008. They just start coming out. They're the official bat of the big leagues now. They are the bat. They've taken over Louisville. Louisville Slugger is no longer the official bat. Marucci is. Well, I started swinging Marucci's when I first started. When I was ending my career in 2008. So we go out to Seattle, bro. It's one night. Turns out it was one of the first nights I got to hang out with Eddie Vedder, right? A couple nights before, and so 2 nights later he comes to the game. I'm like, oh man, Vedder's here, front row. I got to make sure I put on a show tonight, right? Facing King Felix Hernandez. I'm like, all right, here we go, baby. Tonight's the night. Go grab my bat, chance him on deck. I'm like, let's go. So I get in the box. King Felix pumps me a heater. I take a big swing and miss. I'm like, man, maybe I didn't sleep well last night or something. This bat feels like a freaking oak tree in my hands. So I'm like, what the hell? Next pitch, dude, another fastball, swing and miss again. Drops a changeup on me. I miss it. 1, 2, 3. I'm like, man, that's not normal for me. 1, 2, 3. I was like, all right. Next at bat, later in the game, I'm like, Vedder's here. He's in the front row. I got, press him. Let's go. We can make this happen. 1, 2, 3. Do I punch out again? I'm like, what's going on, dude? And the bat feels so freaking heavy. I'm like so frustrated. I'm like, why does this bat feel so heavy? I was like, I got to get my act together here. So sure enough, I come up, 8th inning. I look over at Vedder's seat. He's left. He's had it. He's like, this guy stinks. Turns out this guy's a bad player. I come up, Chinch. 4-3 ball game, man on second, 2 outs. I'm like, let's go, dude. Lock it in. King Felix still out there just wheeling and dealing. Pumps me a heater. Wham! I cover one, line drive to right, boom, tied the game 4. I'm like, let's get it, So I think we ended up winning the game in extra innings. We tied up. So after the game, dude, I go to grab my bats, bring them back to my locker or whatever, because I think it was getaway day. So I grab my bats and I'm walking back and I grab the one, and one of them says, my bats said RC21. Jack Marucci was from Pittsburgh, and he made the bats Clemente 21 for me and him. It was like a kind of so my Marucci bats were RC 21s for Clemente. So I was like, oh, cool. Well, dude, I used to also order autograph bats to like give away if like, oh yeah, I'm going out to Seattle. Got my cousins out there, my buddy. So what I did was I packed some autograph bats too. Well, the autograph bats, dude, what they do is at Marucci, they go, oh, this is terrible wood and it's heavy. So they just throw it over here for guys that need autograph bats. Dude, these things are like, and all it says is Casey Custom Cut. So that it doesn't say RC21. So I'm like, the autograph bats are 3440s. 40s and shitty and not good wood. 3440. I'm like, so dude, at the end of the game, I pull up the bat that I was using in the game and it says Casey Custom Cut. I'm like, oh my God, dude, I was using an autograph bat in the game. 3440. Talk about the mind. My mind was like, I need to get a hit. The game's on the line. Dude, I got a hit off King Felix in the big leagues with a 3430 autograph bat from Marucci.
3440, you said.
3440. I mean, 3440 autograph bat, dude. Casey Custom Cut. Let's go. That was one of my greatest hits of my career. Over 1,500 hits, and I'll never forget that hit. 3440 autograph bat off King Felix. You want to talk about not having the right measurements on a bat.
That is amazing, dude. Oh, my God. All right. Well, you said it all today, dude. Seriously, thank you for that analysis. I hope people – look, this probably get picked up. You were the former hitting coach for the New York Yankees, so somebody might hear about it at some point today. But what your explanation was about the bats, what'd you say? It's not the arrow, it's the Indian.
It's the Indian, not the arrow at the end of the day. And like I said, when the Indians – I mean, when the Yankees start to scuffle – it's not going to be the bats. It's
exactly. Oh, Aaron Judge in his own head. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
anyway.
Exactly. So.
Well, this is exactly why folks need to join up to Sean Casey's Breakthrough Pro Baseball.
Oh, yeah. April 27th, Breakthrough Pro. My man, Darren Lopez. I saw your name, bro, on the list. Our buddy out there who's the unbelievable school teacher down there in Washington. He signed up. He knows what's going on. He knows what's going on.
Awesome.
Love it, D. All right, man.
Way to start the week, man. Thank you.
Great stuff, dude. And also, we'll talk more baseball tomorrow. But, man, I mean, obviously there's some great stuff going on in baseball. But this is the number one story about these torpedo bats. And, on MLB.com, it's everywhere. I think the other one to touch on really quick before we go, Chinch, is Devers. Raphael Devers comes out 0 for 16, 12 punchies. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, it's an adjustment. I don't care what I've DH'd and I've played the field. When you DH, having a new routine, trying to figure out what your routine is in between. I never saw anybody do it better than Big Papi. Big Papi was back there riding the exercise bike, staying warm, doing his thing, going up to the clubhouse, walking up and down the stairs. Raphael Devers rakes. At some point, he's going to figure out that routine. Obviously it looks bad because he's over 16 with 12 punchies, but they're going to need him big time. So he'll get going. Yeah, 4 games, only 158 games to go. They're going nuts here in Pittsburgh about the Buccos getting walked off 3 times in the Marlins. There's 158 to go.
Yeah, there you go. What is it? Brian Kenny has the best line for it. Small sample size theater.
Exactly. That's small sample size theater, dude. Exactly. But you know what we said? Overreaction time, bro.
There you go. All right. Great stuff. All
right. All right, Chinchy, thanks, man. Love you, bro. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening. We'll get you a link out there if you want to join us for Breakthrough Pro April 27th. It's going to be incredible. And also subscribe and download. Joan Casey says it's free, and it is. It costs you no money to hit subscribe. All right. See you, bro.
Love you.
Out of here.